My name is Sheila Amos. I work at FedEx, and I filed a workplace balance report because I felt that one of my coworkers was throwing some type of chemicals on me, and I wanted it monitored by security so that the proof could be there to take action. I filed the report, and I filed it because the particles that was hitting me had the texture of salt when it hit. It sting, and the longer it stayed, the worse my skin felt. Also, there was a powdery substance that had a taste and smell of detergent, and I thought perhaps commercial grade, because when it seemed to stop, the person would leave, and when they came back, it would start up again. So I thought maybe it was something that was coming from the work area, or maybe receiving it from the cleaning crew or their closet. Also, powdery substance, misty powdery substance that was coming over, and it would affect my lungs, my eyes, made me feel a little dizzy. And again, I wanted someone to monitor it. The report I did, this was in September, I believe it was September 4th. It was on a Thursday. And I filed the report on that day because although I wanted to get proof, actually have someone see it, because every time I would look back at this person who was behind me and to the left, every time I would look back, I would only see a hand up. Of course, whatever was being thrown or whatever was already done. So, or I would also hear a plastic bag rattle just before as well. But the only time when I looked back, the only thing I saw was a hand up. So this day, my throat had gotten so bad that the volume had gotten low. I was talking like this, and my eyes had already gotten heavy. My nose was clogged. It was stuffed. It was congested. And the worst part came when I was on the phone talking to a customer or leaving a voicemail, and I must have inhaled, and when I did, I inhaled something that seared my tongue. It was like as if I had drank some hot coffee. It seared the tip of my tongue. It went into my mouth, into my throat. It burned. It burned as it went down to my chest. Whatever it was seemed to move around in my chest, then moved to the left side, and stopped like halfway on the upper arm. And whatever it was just sat there, just felt heat. So now it's time to stop just trying to do this on my own and try to get security to monitor what was going on. So I got up, went to one of the training room where there's computers for some privacy, and I wanted to file the report. So I filed the report, informed them who it was. The person that was sitting behind me to the right was the direction where these things were coming. I have someone that sits behind me. It's a cubicle area. So there's someone behind me, there's someone beside me, and there's a vent above me. I have had things come from that vent, dust or little white things from the tiles. There's a difference. And I know it's not coming from above my head down, and from either the vent or from the person that's sitting behind me, nor is it coming from the side. It was coming from the back and coming towards me. It would land on my neck, again, my shoulders, my arm, and again, it would affect my mouth, nose, and eyes. And I reported this, and I informed them to contact me on my cell phone because the following day I would be out, and that following week as well. But I thought we would be able to have a conversation and talk about what can be done to monitor this. I did not receive a call from management nor security the day after or that week. The report asked if I wanted my immediate manager contacted. I said no, because I didn't want her to confront the person, and maybe in that person do something a little different. Because knowing the person, I knew they weren't going to stop. It just wasn't in their character. And I wanted to have the security do this. And they did not contact me. They did contact my manager, but I didn't hear from them for that whole week I was out. I come back the second Monday after being on vacation, hoping that perhaps there is something in my email stating that we're looking into this or something. Nothing. And I go to my senior manager to find out why. And she states she did hear from my manager the day of, or the following day. That was her statement. I heard from Andrea the day of or the following day. And so I asked her what manager would have received that report at the moment I sent it. And she stated no manager would, because security wants to make sure that they investigate before they inform management. But she had just stated that security informed, or my manager knew. She didn't say security told her, but my manager knew the day of or the following day. So that was interesting, because the day I made the report, that Thursday, I felt the person I made the report on knew that I made the report because of behavior or mannerism. I thought that person knew. And I didn't mention to anyone that I thought that she knew. I asked who the report had gone to in management. So my senior manager contacted security. They contacted her back and asked her to have me meet Mr. Nichols on the second floor. I met with him. I gave him the information about what was going on, and he recorded it, did an audio recording. He also asked me to write, after we spoke about it on the recording, he asked me to write what I had just told him, and we did that. He stated that he would give that report to HR, and a board would be looking into it and make a decision on what should happen. And I did that. He asked me if there was anybody I should contact, or he should contact, that may also have seen or heard something. And I gave him the two people on my owl, and a couple of other people that may have heard something from the people on my owl. Because I know the person behind me, I heard once when I realized what was going on, that she said to Deborah Chapman is the person I'm speaking about. She said, I saw you throwing that stuff. You need to stop. Stop throwing it. I started to throw something at you. And I don't know if she was talking about this incident. She said that I was going to, when she said this to Deborah, she said that I was going to throw something at you, and I'm going to tell Andre you're trying to start something. Because I had stopped talking to Deborah because of her boisterous attitude and cursing, and I asked her to stop, but she wouldn't, so I felt the best way would just be to leave her alone and stop talking to her, just try to stay away from her. But, of course, this didn't. She did stop the cursing a little bit for a moment, but it was kind of like a defiance kind of thing. I don't need to stop doing what I'm doing. It's me, this is me, kind of thing. The other person, I did ask her, because she's a friend of Deborah, and I did ask her to stop, and she stopped. If someone doesn't like something, you usually, when they ask you if you would please stop, you do. But this didn't happen with her, and I knew if management said something to her, it would still be her attitude, which it still is. And the report didn't go anywhere. They spoke to the two people on my aisle, and Ms. Chapman, and the problem still persists. And that was in September of 2011. When my management and senior manager told me that the investigation was over. This happened. They spoke to me on Monday. They spoke to Ms. Chapman and the two other people on Tuesday. The report was over on Wednesday. No monitoring, no further information about what was going on, except I was told that security did come and they looked on her desk and didn't see anything. They looked on the people around the desk, didn't see anything. Looked on my desk, didn't see anything. The report was over. I asked if they looked in her desk. They said no, privacy reasons, they couldn't go in her desk. This is security's property. I've reported a problem, but they can't look in the desk to see what she has. I mean, if I'm doing something wrong to someone, I'm going to leave it on my desk and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. That didn't make sense to me, that you would not look in her desk. I worked in the hub. Security was looking for something. They opened up everybody's locker, threw everything on the floor. Looked like a tornado had gone through that place. They just threw stuff all over the place. They didn't care. So, but now you got a drawer that belongs to you. You have the key for it. You have a key box that's open to the public, everybody on the floor, who can go and get a key in there, unmonitored, and go in anybody's store if they wanted to. I don't understand why you can't open her drawer and just take a look. I didn't say shuffle around in it. If there's something in there, it's going to be right there. When I would get the fumes from that area, I would always hear a slam, and then I got the fumes, whether it was paper sounding or just like her, she has this clipboard. Either I hear the clipboard fall down or I hear some papers fall. And it wasn't like her normal hit, like when she's talking to a customer, she gets upset and starts hitting on her desk, which disturbs me too. But it was different. But whenever I hear that slam, I know some fumes are coming in my direction. But they didn't check that. And they told me in this meeting with my manager and senior manager that the investigation was over, and if I wanted to, I could move. There was a place in the center, some seating, that I could sit there. So I prepared to move to the center. While they are preparing to move my computer, I moved to another area. They say when I'm in the center that she shouldn't be over there. There's no reason. I said she has legs, because I know it's not going to stop her, my movement. If she has an attitude, she has an attitude. So I moved to the other area while they're setting up my stuff. And whenever I get the fumes, she's passing or she's in the other aisle. I start to also get a passment from a manager. When I look up and it's the manager that's passing, or he comes down the aisle I'm at, and I get the fumes. So I'm wondering why he's involved now, although I feel he's the one that informed her. Maybe he feels that I might mention his name, and if this happens, both of them will bother me, maybe